Hello and welcome to the Codex Prime Podcast. We are on episode 114 and it is Tuesday, March 27th, 2018.
Whoa.
I'm going back in time, because I'm the Flash. I have the Speed Force. I can travel through time at will.
Codex Flashpoint or something?
Yes, Codex Flashpoints.
Is that going to be awful? Are we going to land a director and then he'll quit in 6 months in?
Yeah, probably. We'll get 6 directors at the helm. They'll all quit for various reasons. But yes, I am your host, Victor Omoyo, and with me, as always, is my co-host and social media chair, Carl Bird.
What's good, everybody? What's going on, Kyle?
Yes, welcome, Kyle, to the episode 114.
Welcome, everybody. Damn.
Yes, Tuesday, March 27, 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got some things to talk about. We're just 2 weeks away from WrestleMania 34 and NXT TakeOver New Orleans.
And the WWE Hall of Fame. Just the whole weekend in general.
Yeah, WrestleMania weekend, man. Hall of Fame, it's fine, until WWE actually constructs an actual Hall of Fame and has an actual voting body, then the Hall of Fame is not quite as reputable as some fans might believe it to be. But it's still cool to see, the old heads come out and celebrate their careers.
Yeah, I would love to have a Hall of Fame, like a Hall of Fame building, because I would definitely go. But I mean, still, it's still cool, and I always love the stories. I always love listening to the OGs tell the best stories.
Oh yeah,
you don't ever just sit around. The best ones sit around your drunk uncle when he's drunk. Mm-hmm. Just listen to one of his stories. The most hilarious shits ever.
Yeah, it's true,
Remember that little Tekken challenge? Q won't be here this week. So apparently Kyle has beat Q, has beat Quincy Thomas in their Tekken challenge.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Have you gotten better in Tekken?
About the same.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a month since I've borrowed your copy of Tekken 7 and Injustice 2. Yeah.
No, you ain't playing them. Give them shits back.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm still halfway through the storyline of Injustice 2.
All right, hurry up and finish that.
Yeah, I'll try to get through that as soon as possible. Tekken 7 you can have back. I've had my fill with that game. It's fun as it is. They do have a Hall of Fame building? Where?
It's in New York. I think he's thinking the warehouse. They might as well just make that into the building.
Yeah.
They got all the stuff there.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, all that wrestling memorabilia, like the Eco Pro banner, they managed to break that out for Raw.
Well, because if you go back to the first episode of Raw, there was a big Ico Pro banner right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, shit.
Yeah. If they can go through all that effort to get that dusty banner out, then they should have the resources to build a Hall of Fame at this point. I don't know if we'll see the Chris Benoit exhibit.
Yeah. What is there? It's just the confetti.
Yeah, probably the confetti and
bloodstained confetti. Triple H was bleeding that in that match. So.
Oh yeah, he was. Yep. Yeah, wrestling. Yeah, well, we got a bit of wrestling talk we'll get into in a bit. For now, we're gonna talk about stuff we've been up to, and we're just gonna be pretty much winging it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just get it out in the open. Sometimes we just want to spend some time on the podcast with y'all. So we're just gonna be winging it this week. So with that said, what you been up to, Carl?
Literally. Well, the past couple of days, I've been kind of under the weather a bit, but so I've been watching a lot of The Office.
Okay.
I'm really mad at myself that I did not watch that show during its initial run.
Is that good?
Oh yeah. I was just showing you clips before. Jim is always pranking Dwight. Like, there was one prank where he took all his stuff from his desk and put it in the vending machine, so Dwight had to pay for it.
Yeah.
To get out. There was another one. Well, they didn't actually show it, but he said he did it where he was complaining to Michael, who was the regional manager, and he was like, "Yeah, he made me smack myself in the face with my own phone." He's like, "That actually took a lot of effort to do." He's like, every time he left, I put nickels inside his headset, his phone. So by the time he got used to the weight, and then one day I just took them all out. So because he's so used to the weight, he ended up smacking himself in the face.
Jeez.
Michael versus Toby is hilarious. Like, of course, Michael, the regional manager, played by Steve Carell, and he hates Toby, who's the HR rep. And oh damn, what's going on, Jeanette? I haven't seen you in forever. Yeah, so he just like hates him every time. Like Michael tries to do something fun, like Toby's. I almost said John. Who happens to be watching? Toby like always just ends up like killing it. So it was to the point where like Michael hates Toby so much. He was like, if I was in a room with Hitler and Bin Laden and Toby, and I had a gun with 2 bullets, I would shoot Toby twice.
Damn, that's maximum hatred.
It is, but it's like at its best, and it's hilarious.
Nice. How many seasons of The Office are there?
9.
Wow. It's been around for a minute.
Yeah. I don't even know how long the UK version lasts.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. And it's on Hulu?
Netflix.
Okay.
All 9 seasons.
Nice. Yeah, what else has been new?
Still playing the Batman Telltale game. Do you actually plan on playing it?
Probably not.
Yeah, I watched the first episode of Krypton. Don't see that show lasting more than a season. Honestly, okay, yeah, Krypton, it did come on after Raw last night. I literally just walked by the TV, noticed it, and was like, all right, whatever. And continued working.
Yeah. But yeah.
Honestly, it's on me. It's on the Sci-Fi Network. I still haven't found anything to not like trust anything that comes out of the Sci-Fi Network.
Well, I heard that that show Happy was really good, which I still haven't seen yet. I think it might still be available on demand via Verizon, so I do want to watch that show because it does come highly recommended.
I think Eddie actually said it was pretty good.
Yeah, so the Christopher Maloney.
Yeah.
But what about the Batman Telltale game?
Yeah, like where I'm at in the game is that Harvey Dent becomes mayor, but yeah, he was burned by by the Penguin and the Children of Gotham, so he's like he's starting to deal with the the bipolar syndrome that he has. Yeah. So and then he actually ended up having Bruce Wayne sent to Arkham. The Children of Arkham, they drug Bruce Wayne and they send him to Arkham, and also Oswald Cobblepot is running Wayne Enterprises.
Wow, that's quite the twist.
Yeah, yeah, it was kind of weird because they were saying like Oswald and Bruce Wayne like grew up together. I don't necessarily remember that from the comics. No, but yeah, Oswald Cobblepot has an English accent, and he's like skinny. So he looks more like Cobblepot from Gotham than like Danny DeVito.
Okay. Huh, that's an interesting
but
take.
the game, you do get caught into it. You do really do. Yeah, I can't talk for shit. I'm tired as hell. No, you really do get into it. So I actually do recommend you do play it. It was free last month on the PlayStation Network. Yeah. I think this month's free game is Knack.
No, this month is Ratchet and Clank and Bloodborne.
You know, I did want to play Bloodborne.
Oh, you should play it. It's worth downloading. But wait, do you have PlayStation Plus?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, get it. It's worth it. Bloodborne that was my favorite game of 2015. You need to play that game. And
I still haven't finished Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's fine. You can download Bloodborne and play it whenever you can. At least get it when it's still free. You have a week to do so.
Really?
Yeah.
I might as well do it overnight. I might as well do it overnight.
Oh yeah, it's a great game. It's a great game. I like it more than Dark Souls.
Really?
Yeah, it's just faster combat and just a better, like it's a better storyline, better atmosphere.
He said, Kyle says, well, a new free game.
Yeah,
Do you know if Xbox gives out free games?
I'm not sure. I don't know, but yeah, I know this month is still Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank for the PS4. So get them while you still can, man.
All right. Usually, don't they announce like what's going to be next week?
They usually announce it the day before the new month arrives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I know unfortunately, Sony's no longer supplying free games for PS3 users, so that's too bad.
Why are there still PS3 users around?
Yeah. They've been supplying free games on the PlayStation Plus network. Yeah, that's why I've been able to dust off on PS3 on occasion. Yeah.
Why haven't you traded that in yet?
Why would I? Why would I trade in my PS3?
Well, I mean, no, I still have I have my father's PS2, which I plan on. All I need is like controllers and the AV cables, and I'm going to the toy vault and balling out.
Yeah, man.
Definitely getting Def Jam Fight for New York.
Yes.
And Fight for New York. And first one.
Oh, Vendetta.
Yeah.
I want to play those games so much again. Man, I got to get those games. Now that you remind me.
We did have Freddy a couple of Freddy Cups ago.
Yeah, I remember you did mention that you guys played that Fight for New York.
It came back to me, and I still got it.
Yeah, man.
I was a beast with Joe Budden.
Mm-hmm. Method Man, Ghostface, Busta Rhymes.
Busta was nice.
Yeah. Omar Epps was even in the game.
He was.
Yeah. But Icon was trash, though.
Oh, my God. I downloaded the demo on PlayStation 3, and the only two characters you was able to play was T.I. and, I want to say Big Boy from Outkast.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
It just didn't do it for me.
Nah, it was like, and then plus like sound was like a big theme of the game, where like the environment will pulsate, like vibrate.
It was just.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those things where it's like stick with what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like they tried to leave the comfort zone and it just failed.
Yeah, it really did, and that just shows you like the Aki Corporation. They were the masters at wrestling games. Like I would love to see. I don't know if they're still around, but if they are, then I'd love to see them make a new wrestling game of some kind, because their game engine was like perfect.
Yeah, but I think what David Banner was a monster. He was alright.
Yeah,
he wasn't my favorite, but he was alright. Yeah. Crazy Legs was a beast too, but being a bit biased, but damn, I don't know if I forgot to say. Yeah, WWE's just taking over like the wrestling game format though.
Yeah, well, more so like a 2K games.
Yeah,
yeah, and those games, I'm sorry, they're not very good. Like I've
2K games.
Yeah, the WWE 2K games, they're not very good.
I don't know. I see a lot of people playing them. I used to have fun playing them. I think the last one I played was like 2K15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last one I played was 2K. I want to say 2K13 or 2K12. But like, I don't like the gameplay style with the analog stick. Using the right analog stick to execute moves. It's just awkward, and I know it's supposed to be more like a simulation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not really feeling it. And plus, like it looks generic too. Each game.
Well, what we used to do back in the day, though, with like No Mercy and stuff, and the SmackDown games too, was we all created our own characters. It always took Ramus forever to create his, and we just made up a federation of our own.
Oh, sweet!
But we would just like let the computer play. Every now and then we would play, but we would just let the computer. We just let the computer play and have at it.
Nice. Yeah. Whose character usually ended up winning?
It was a toss-up because I remember I was Marcus and I were the last champions because it was when they did the brand split.
Yeah.
And I had one of the belts. I think I had the world title. Marcos had the WWE title, and we're just like, well, We were best friends. We just had our WrestleMania. We were both champs at the same time.
Nice.
Hashtag Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit.
Oh man.
It was just like that. Obviously, it happened before they died. But,
oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just funny. It was a similar situation.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
No Mercy on 64 is the GOAT. I would say it still is.
Absolutely. 100% facts, Mr. Kyle. Yes, No Mercy is still in my view, the greatest wrestling game of all time. And then like probably close to that would be SmackDown versus Raw 2006. That would be my number 2. And then maybe SmackDown Here Comes the Pain as number 3.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I would have to say I'm going to go back a bit and say WWE. Warzone was fun for its time.
For its time, yeah.
Warzone and Attitude were fun for its time. But I would probably say Royal Rumble for Sega.
For is it the Dreamcast?
No, the actual Sega Genesis.
Okay.
Now, me and my cousin Joe, we had some fun times with that.
Oh, man. I remember Monday Night Raw for the Super Nintendo. It was
Sega too. They had
and Sega. It was pretty similar to Raw.
It was the same game. I think it was like the game right after that.
Yeah. Those were fun. They were like pure button mashers. Like when you grappled, when you tied up with your opponent,
you had to
mash the button and the meter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what was the bad one? Remember Nitro and Thunder?
Oh my God, yeah.
My dad had those. But you know what? Because I didn't have a lot of games and my dad bought those, I had fun with it.
I did too. You know, like looking back, like at the time, I was like, "Well, these games are all right." But then looking back now, it's like, "Wow, those wrestling games are trash."
They don't hold up.
Not at all. The graphics are terrible. The controls are awkward.
What was cool about it though is that when in the character select, you press like square, you get a little video.
Yeah.
But then in Thunder, you can make them either a part of WCW, NWO Hollywood, or NWO Wolfpack. Mm-hmm. So just for the hell of it, I put everybody in the Wolfpack. Wolfpack was popping at that time.
They were. They were red and black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, they had a crappy entrance theme though.
You know who did that theme, right?
Who?
C Murder.
Really?
Yeah. That theme song was dope. This is a nice chill beat.
It was a chill beat, but it was just, it just wasn't popping. No, it wasn't. At least in my opinion, it wasn't. I think that was shortly before No Limit. No Limit Records had that deal with WCW. You remember that?
That was right.
Master P.
Oh my God, the No Limit soldiers that they had.
Yup. My goodness.
And shout outs to Kevin Lehman. He says we're his favorite podcast.
Oh, thank you, Kevin. Thank you. We appreciate that. But man, Nitro and Thunder, those are some trash games. Oh, but you want to know what was even worse? WCW Mayhem. That it looked terrible and played terrible.
Backstage Assault.
That took a shitty game and made it even worse. It was like taking a pile of shit and then scooping more shit on top of that pile. Backstage Assault. It was basically Mayhem without the ring. Same gameplay and everything.
I didn't play it. I had like literally no interest in playing it.
Yeah, you dodged a bullet. I'm like, why am I wasting my time with this bullshit? But man, I would say like the best WCW game was probably Revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, for N64. Yeah, and then
WWE just THQ went to WWE, and then No Mercy came out, and here we had.
Yep. Well, first it was WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it was No Mercy, which perfected the formula.
WrestleMania X8 for the GameCube was actually fun, and I actually we actually had shout out to my cousin Mookie in Baltimore. We was like, yo, we're going the distance. Mm-hmm. We're gonna do an Iron Man match, but we actually went a full hour.
Really?
And a full hour just playing that one game straight.
Damn, man, that must have been fun.
Yeah, it was. We still talk. No, we still talk about it today.
Nice.
Like I'll just call them up and be like, "Yo, I'm I'm like, yo, what's going on? Y'all remember that that WrestleMania 18, that Iron Man match? I don't think I could do that with anybody else though.
Yeah.
Just because of the memory alone. Remember when TNA game was, excuse the language, fucking terrible. I didn't even. Who made that game? It was Acclaim, wasn't it? No,
Acclaim was out of business. You know what? I'm gonna look that up.
Or because Midway was out too.
Yeah,
I don't even remember the.
Yeah, TNA did make a video game. It was for the PS3 and the original Xbox, I believe.
Oh my god, I'm like picturing it too, and it was the graphics looked god awful.
Yeah, TNA Impact video game. So I'm looking it up right now on Wikipedia. It was made by Midway, actually.
Close enough. Same people who did Mortal Kombat back in the day.
Yeah, it was actually for the PS2 and PS3 and 360. Like at first, when I heard of a TNA game being made, I'm like, oh, that should be interesting. You know, it'd be nice to see an alternative wrestling game on the market.
Right.
But then, like when the reviews came out, and I saw gameplay like footage during reviews, I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching that. No, sir.
Yeah, I swear. You know what? If I hook up my PS2, and if I just happen to see that in the toy vault, I'll get it.
Well, if the price is right. Yeah, like $10 or less.
Very less.
Oh yeah, $10 might be a little much even then. But like there was another wrestling game too, Lucha Libre. It was a Lucha Libre wrestling game. It was for the PS3. I heard it was like a mixed bag from what I hear, but at least I like the concept of a Lucha Libre wrestling game, even though I heard that it wasn't all that though.
I don't even remember it.
No, if you look it up, I remember Conan. He did some commentary for the game too. But
Max Moon.
Yep. But man, it's been a long time since we've had like a great wrestling game, man. Because those 2K games aren't doing it. I'm sorry, they're just not.
I haven't played this year. I wanted to get it too. I still kind of want to get it.
Yeah.
Like I know I have cousins who play it, so I'll play it against them. You know.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't gotten around to play it. I did pre-order my God of War though.
Coming out April 27th? 20th?
Comes out on 420.
420. Oh yeah, for all the weed heads out there.
That's literally what the guy at GameStop said. You just like when I go to pre-order, I'm like, it comes out the 24th. It's like, no, you should be. I'm like, you remember this? Comes out the 20th. 420.
There you go. Yeah, that's gonna be my next major game that I'll purchase. Nick Thomas said SmackDown Here Comes the Pain was the GOAT as well. You know, I'll agree with that. That's my third favorite wrestling game. But Here Comes the Pain was.
I'll put it number 2. I'll put it number 2 after No Mercy.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Like I put 2000 SmackDown versus Raw 2006 because for me that was like kind of perfecting the Here Comes the Pain formula. You know, plus they had better graphics too. But yeah, man, I had a lot of fun with those games. And
you play by yourself though.
Yeah, most of the time. But you know, the thing is with wrestling games, they have like almost infinite replay value for me anyway.
Listen, it was one of those like the first SmackDown I played. Do you know how many WrestleManias I have won at in my created character? I think I went to like WrestleMania in the year like 2067.
Damn.
I was just straight undefeated. Like it got so boring. I was like, you know, I'm just gonna lose just so I can like grind just to like win the title again. After a while, because it was just straight pay-per-view, just win after win after win after win after win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it kind of gets boring, especially after you unlock everything too.
I did.
Yeah,
I did. I deleted the memory card. I deleted the memory card icon just so I can do it all over again.
Wow, that's what's up.
I did that for Tekken 3 because then I remembered like if I did that, then I lose my created character. And all of his stats, like his all his stats was like all the way up.
Oh wow!
Like I was literally just the most unstoppable black man doing a Swanton bomb.
Nice, man.
But it was weird too because I was like I had the Rock's head, his upper body, and the Hardy Boys like pants.
Oh wow!
The wide legs.
Huh. Nice. Yeah, those creator wrestlers were pretty wild. With
Undertaker's theme song.
Of course. Yeah. Man, those creator wrestlers were pretty wild, man. those were some really cool. That was a really cool mode. And I was thinking like with as far as wrestling games go, I know of like there's some creative fans like online. They've created mods for No Mercy where they just like update the roster with like the current day rosters with the No Mercy engine.
I've come across those a couple of times. I need to see.
Yeah, like
I want to know how they did that.
Me too, because I know on YouTube like they have users who upload videos of like new rosters with the No Mercy engine, and it's like what, I would like to get my hands on one of those mods just so I can play it. That'd be really fun.
You have to search the black market or something.
Not really, not necessarily, but yeah, man, wrestling games. I'm gonna have to like you. I'm gonna have to hit up Toy Vault or maybe Time Capsule and maybe track down a couple of those old school games, man.
Just ball out.
Yeah. Yeah, so what else you been up to, man, on your end?
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. My life has been boring this week.
That's cool. That's cool.
No, it's not. Okay.
Thank you, Yemi, for joining us.
Yeminems.
Yeah, man. And as for me, what I've been up to, well, today being Tuesday's the day of new releases on Blu-ray. So I went to Best Buy.
Here it is.
And I purchased
the fanciest of packaging.
Yes. The Steelbook package, the Steelbook Blu-ray edition of Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which I was eagerly anticipating since the December 15th theatrical release.
What was I gonna ask?
Oh, look at
this. Did you
this.
pre-order it?
Nah.
You didn't have to?
Oh, no. It was filled with copies.
What time did you go?
Let me see. Went 11:45.
Oh, okay. They were still open. They just opened, so.
Yeah.
You were good.
Oh, yeah. So
Nobody got out of work yet. I don't think anybody was going to get out of work just to buy Star Wars on DVD.
Nah. It's like abundant. So it's like, you'd be hard pressed not to get a copy, but I went there. It was filled with Blu-ray Steelbook editions as well as the 4K Steelbook as well. And oh man, this is just a beautiful Steelbook, as you can see for all of our Facebook Live users right now. And I do have the Steelbook edition of The Force Awakens. So this is
the art books.
And the art book. So it's a wonderful complement, as you can see there. The interior artwork features the scene from Crate, the salt planet. And it's just beautiful. I love the color scheme. I love this film. This film made me cry when I saw it in theaters.
Christ,
I saw it twice on the same day in theaters.
Yeah, you're still an asshole for that.
I wear that proudly. I wear that proudly because when it comes to Star Wars, I'm not gonna wait. I'm not on any of my friends' schedule. I will go there and I will see it first in the morning.
No, but then you're supposed to experience it with your friends. It just makes your experience like so much better. And then talking about it after, not this, I'm going to get a head start shit that you do.
Hey, listen.
You're a dickhead.
I am not a dickhead.
You're a dickhead.
I am not. Listen.
Pull that shit when we went to see Civil War.
Because I wanted to avoid spoilers.
You didn't do it for Black Panther.
Well, no.
And still wasn't the experience much better?
The experience was great. I don't know about much better.
It was definitely better.
You don't speak for me. But yes, The Last Jedi, it is available in beautiful Steelbook now at Best Buy exclusive, so please pick it up.
All right. Well, first of all, John Apodic says, are you going to build something with all that steel? He has like an abundance of steel, but steel.
I do.
And Kyle says Star Wars is overrated. Debate.
You know what? Kyle is the biggest hater of this side of the Mississippi, as we've established on this podcast.
You know what? Kyle needs to come on the show.
He does. We need to make that happen one day. I will say, Kyle, you are entitled to your opinion, but I will say that The Last Jedi, it's a wonderful film. In my view, it's my favorite of the Star Wars films.
Really?
Yeah.
Even better than Empire?
I'd say so. Yeah, and I know that sounds like blasphemy to some of the more hardcore so-called real fans, the ones that say, hashtag not my Star Wars, this is not the way I would treat Luke Skywalker, The Last Jedi is sacrilege to my childhood. Those fans can, they can wank off for all I care. But you know what? The Last Jedi, it's a work of art. I love it. And you know what? I cannot wait to revisit this film again and shed a tear one more time.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude! You saw it once already. I mean, you really need to cry every time.
I saw it twice.
You saw it twice already.
Yeah. All they did. Eddie says that with the sequel trilogy, all they did was redo the original Star Wars trilogy with a new cast. No, not true, Eddie. That's inaccurate. Check your facts. The Last Jedi refutes that very argument.
Yeah, you're catching some. Whoa! Even John Aponic giving the throw up emoji.
John Haponic is a natural born hater, and quite frankly, he lives to be a contrarian. John Haponic. I mean, he liked The Last Jedi as far as I know. I think he saw it. So, for John to do that, he's just trolling. He's not stating his actual opinion. I will agree with John Haponic's puke emoji if we're referring to the prequels, because the prequels are trash. And
you admitted you enjoyed them.
This was before the sequel trilogy came out, and this was before my taste in film evolved.
High school
and college, and the Star Wars, the prequel trilogy is terrible. They do not hold up by any standard. The sequel trilogy only makes the prequel trilogy that much more useless. Kyle Chapman says Star Trek is leagues better. Debatable. Like I said, that,
yeah, I said it. I don't know, but you want to know something? I see more Star Wars fans than I do Trekkies.
Nowadays, yeah. Star Wars fans are much more at the public forefront. Because when you look at the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies, like the first Star Trek movie in 2009, that's still good. Into Darkness, you can throw that away. Star Trek Beyond, though, was very enjoyable. I think it was kind of underrated.
John Aponic said that The Last Jedi was okay, Rogue One was better.
No, John, you shut your dirty mouth. Okay, you do not know of which you speak. Rogue One. I'm gonna tell you something about Rogue One. Rogue One is what I call fan service the movie. Rogue One is a non-essential Star Wars film. It was a useless story. Do we really need to know about how the plans were for the Death Star were acquired? No. The characters, were they interesting?
Yes.
Slightly, at best.
Donnie Yen's character.
I would have liked to have seen like his character and his sidekick as their own film, but since they died off in Rogue One at the end, spoilers. It's useless. And then the end of young Princess Leia, which with that very questionable CGI, it was almost laughable. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. And then
we've seen worse CGI. Justice League.
Yo, Justice League is trash. But resurrecting Peter Cushing in Rogue One.
Oh yeah, didn't they completely fuck up his face?
I wouldn't say they completely messed up his face. You could tell it was CG. It was very distracting. They did not need to completely CGI Peter Cushing's face. They could have gotten an actor who looked enough like Peter Cushing and had a good practical makeup job, and that was it.
Okay, so Nick Thomas said, and the only thing the prequels did right was the Darth Maul fight. Is one of the best in Star Wars history. Darth Maul was a badass character. He was. And Kyle says Jar Jar Binks is the GOAT.
Trolling. That's absolute trolling. Absolute trolling. But Darth Maul, I will say Darth Maul looked cool.
The fight scenes were banging.
The fight scene was
the fight scenes were dope. I can admit that.
Yeah,
I'm not a Star Wars fan at all. I will take indicate, but
yeah.
I will take ownership of that. But I thought the fight scenes were dope.
Well, the Phantom Menace lightsaber Duel of the Fates, it was well choreographed and it had an awesome, musical score. But Darth Maul was a nothing character, as it turned out. And yeah,
wait. Don't you like Boba Fett? Boba Fett was a nothing character.
Absolutely.
He was in the movie for 5 minutes? Mm-hmm. And everybody loves him?
Yeah, everybody
based off his look.
Yeah, strictly based off his look. The same thing with Darth Maul. People love Boba Fett for the same reason, because they look cool.
There's one thing that I would like to have seen more of Captain Phasma.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Captain Phasma. I think there's an interesting story there. Maybe she'll come back for episode 9 and finish the fight with Finn. That would be a nice.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
I know she has a comics here.
Yeah.
Marvel's doing it. Marvel's controlled by Disney.
Yeah.
Everybody in Star Wars has a comic series.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like I will say, like the sequel trilogy, they're Disney is doing a great job with it. Disney and Lucasfilm, they're doing a great job with it so far. I am looking forward to episode 9, seeing how the sequel trilogy will wrap.
The Skywalker saga.
Yeah, how the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy will wrap up. I'm not looking forward to Solo, a Star Wars story at all. I am gonna watch it for the sake of this podcast. Rogue One, you can throw away.
I don't think so. Rogue One was a cool experience.
Like on a most
Rogue One was fun, and it was cool to bring back Darth Vader for that.
Yeah, but it just felt so much like fan service. Like, remember Darth Vader? Remember X-Wings? Remember Rebel Alliance? Oh my God. Remember AT-STs? Remember this? Remember that? No thanks.
I enjoyed it, but it's one of those is like I have to be really bored to watch it again.
Yeah.
Because it's on Netflix. And I'm just like looking at it like, cool.
Yeah.
I can go to the office.
Yeah, it's one of those movies you just like play in the background when you're, sweeping the floor or doing chores or something.
Or Netflix and chill.
Or Netflix and chill. Hey, that's...
Oh my God. Listen, everybody go back in your podcast feeds and listen to episode 11. It was 11, right?
19.
19. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Oh my gosh.
Still my number one favorite episode.
Yeah, the Netflix and chill episode. Yeah. That was fun. That was really fun. I came a long way since then. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Besides, by purchasing The Last Jedi on beautiful steelbook, I went back and reread a favorite book of mine, Fahrenheit 451. Classic dystopian sci-fi story by Ray Bradbury.
Okay.
I reread this in time for the HBO movie coming out in May, which stars Michael B. Jordan and Michael Shannon.
Oh.
Yeah, and that looks pretty tight.
Yeah, you actually just reminded me of something. I actually finally finished Ready Player One.
Oh, okay.
A book that I bought like back last August because I still have the receipt in the book.
Nice. Well, we'll get into that in a bit. Fahrenheit 451. For those who are unfamiliar, it's a classic sci-fi story, and it's about this fireman named Guy Montag, and it takes place in a future where books are outlawed, and firemen they actually start fires. So what they do is they raid people's homes and they collect contraband, like artwork and books in particular, and they burn them. They pile them up, and it's like a good old-fashioned book burning, just with flamethrowers. So like classic books, like contemporary novels, all go up in smoke. And so Guy Montag, he's a devoted fireman. He loves his job. His wife is completely pilled up, and she like immerses herself in television. Like she's just like all day, every day in front of the idiot box, where like her TV, she spends time with her TV family, and the whole story, like Guy Montag, he experiences an awakening. He starts to realize that, okay, there's something about these books. Maybe there's something to them. Maybe I shouldn't burn them. Maybe there's something we can learn from these books. And he starts to get an awakening. He starts to smuggle books and read them sneakily. And his boss, Captain Beatty, who'll be played by Michael Shannon in the HBO movie, he's a guy who's very you can tell he was very well read. Like he keeps quoting books, but he says that books are a danger, books are a threat. When you get people thinking, then it leads to the downfall of society and all this. So it's like a clash of ideals, sort of like Guy Montag experiencing that awakening versus Captain Beatty's like zeal of why books should be burned. And it's a really interesting story about how like not only the importance of literature, but also the state of society where less and less people are reading and more people are like just watching TV or going on social media nowadays.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny how you mentioned that because on Charlemagne's Instagram, he put up a picture of like all the social media logos, and it said "Weapons of Mass Destruction." Mm-hmm. And he said, "Literally, because I was reading a book and I got distracted."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm like, you know what? That happens to me a lot.
Yeah, man. So I think, and you know, it's such a sadness when, you know, reading this book, it kind of reminds me of how less and less people are reading nowadays. Like you have people say, "Oh, I don't have time to read a book cover to cover." You have people, even some people that we may know personally, who brag about, "Oh, I've never read a book cover to cover in like 10 years, 20 years or so, or since school." And it's like, you should be embarrassed. Like anybody who's proud of not reading, or anybody who says, you know, with glee that, "Oh, I don't have time to read books," you should hang your head in shame and be embarrassed. That's some embarrassing shit. And especially people who say that, "Oh, I've never been to the library. Libraries are for kids. I don't even have a library card." Oh, do libraries still exist? Y'all motherfuckers
Are you trying to throw some shade at me? Yeah, I haven't been to a library in a long time, but I frequent Barnes and Nobles.
You see, the fact that you said that you asked that if I was throwing shade at you, that says more about you than it does about me.
No, but you was also talking about other people as well. So I'm
Right.
like, wait, hold on. Is you really throwing shade at me?
I'm not.
He was definitely was.
I mean, I was. I'm not going to front. But
yeah, and even then, I saved myself, and I told you, I was like, listen, I actually frequently go to Barnes and Noble,
which is good.
Sometimes I'd rather own instead. I like having collections of shit.
I do too.
So I'm like,
And
it's a library.
What's a
the emojis are right there. He's joking with you. He's joking with
yeah.
you.
Okay, all right, because you know. Anyway, but yeah, Fahrenheit 451. It's a classic book. I do recommend reading it if you haven't read it already. Also read George Orwell's 1984. That's a good companion piece to this book as well. And you did mention Ready Player One. You said you finished that?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Libraries are free, Carl. I know, but I don't want to return nothing. I know. I'd rather just own it. I just like having collections of stuff. I like to own stuff.
Yes, but you can still own stuff. When you go to the library, think of it as a free preview of the book. And if you like it, you can buy it and have it in your collection. Instead of just buying it blind and then like, oh, I don't like this book. I just spent all this money for nothing.
Free box right there.
Yeah, I do have a free box of like stuff
with
that I'm
many things that you just went ahead and bought blind.
a couple of them. Like what Carl is alluding to is I do have a box of stuff that I intend to give away. Usually like older movies, DVDs, and Blu-rays in my collection. Most of the Blu-rays and DVDs in my collection, those are I've upgraded since then. So I've bought better editions of those movies. So, like, for example, like Silence of the Lambs is in the box because I'm going to buy the Criterion edition.
That made it into the Criterion collection?
Yep. And for Blu-ray, so I'm going to get that.
I really would like to see you try to own every Criterion movie.
Oh, that's impossible. I can't do that.
Is it really impossible?
I don't have the money for every single film. And besides, I don't want every single film in the Criterion collection. Because there are a few stinkers, you know. But for the...
Mulholland Drive.
Oh, Mulholland Drive is a modern classic.
It was just way too weird for me. Maybe it's because I only have 3. I've only seen 3 Criterions. Maybe I've seen other ones that eventually went into the Criterion collection. Mm-hmm. But those 3,
yeah,
I probably, if I had to rank them,
yeah,
I'll probably say Dress to Kill number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 would be Tootsie.
Yeah.
And then, Tootsie, a.k.a. Original Juwanna Man.
No.
Do we really have to break it down?
No, we're not to break this down again.
No, we really have to break it down? And that's what it was.
Whatever, man.
That's what it was.
Whatever.
It was the original Juwanna Man. It's where Juwanna Man took his story.
Whatever, man.
Just switched it from acting to basketball.
Which Juwanna Man is an inferior film.
Okay, but it's still... Tootsie's still the original.
Whatever, man. Move on.
And then Mulholland Drive 3rd.
Okay. I mean, Mulholland Drive, I love that film. It's my favorite film of 2001.
It was just way too weird for me. Dress to Kill stuck with the plot, with a simple plot.
Yeah.
Same with Tootsie.
Yeah.
But then just Mulholland Drive had a nice plot, but just all this extra shit that was just thrown in there for the sake of being weird.
Not really. I mean, the weirdness had a point. I mean,
what was the point of just old people just laughing and then they turn into freaking little live action figures?
Well, because at that point, Naomi Watts' character was just, hallucinating. She was out of her mind. She was having a nervous mental breakdown. Because the whole film, if you realize, is like, you look at Mulholland Drive as like two halves of the same story. So the first half of the film is where it's like very idyllic, like she's a aspiring actress and everything's working well for her. So it's like the expectation. Then the second half is the reality where
there was nothing reality about midget.
No, the reality of the situation was where she wasn't making it in Hollywood. It was her roommate, and she was just like a hanger on.
And okay, so what was the whole silencio? Like it just ended the movie as that, and I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like there was no point in that at all. Like they just go to the theater looking for something, and then they just see that, and they just start crying. The whole thing had nothing to do with it. It was just there for the sake of being weird. And you even admitted to yourself that what the hell is the director's name?
Oh, David Lynch.
David Lynch. It was on the tip of my tongue too. Yeah. But you even said he likes doing shit for the sake of being weird.
He does sometimes.
And there you go. Mulholland Drive is full of that weird shit that he gets off of.
Hey, at least all of it had a point to it. And I love that film, and especially that one scene. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, and the lesbian sex scene?
Yeah. It was a work of art.
Was it your first one that you ever seen?
Nah,
all right,
not by any means.
You'd be all right then.
No, I just like the lighting, and I liked how it was filmed.
You weren't paying attention to a goddamn light. Shut the hell up.
But yeah, man. I mean, you were mentioning Ready Player One. That was a mean segue.
How the hell did we get there?
I have no idea. But you said you finished the book.
Movie. Yeah, I did finish the book. It is good. It is good. It does drag in the middle. That's why I took that very long pause. Mm-hmm. And in between that, I probably read so many comics in between that time.
Yeah.
So you can see why it's getting got the movie deal that it did.
Oh yeah.
So and the trailers look amazing.
Sure. I admit if it's visually appealing.
So I'm gonna hold off till next week when we discuss Ready Player One. And speaking of Ready Player One, we actually have a giveaway.
Yes, we do.
Nice small giveaway. So we're actually going to be giving away a copy of the Ready Player One book and also a $25 gift certificate to GameStop. In order to
go.
And all you have to do is just go on iTunes and leave a 5-star review this week.
Hey, okay.
That automatically enters you in, and then next Tuesday, that's when we'll draw the winner.
Okay, so we'll draw them out randomly?
Yeah.
Cool, I like that.
Winner. So one winner receives both, so leave us some 5-star reviews.
Yeah, man. Cool.
And of course, Eddie heard, wait, I heard lesbian sex winner.
Yeah, we were referring to the movie Mulholland Drive. Matter of fact, Eddie, that should be the next movie you should rent or somehow. Get a copy of Mulholland Drive, watch that movie, let us know what you think.
I give him 5 minutes before he falls asleep.
Or
5 minutes.
Or you can fast forward to that scene. I don't know, whatever. But
you probably just YouTube it.
I don't know. YouTube wouldn't have that.
Google it.
Yeah. But speaking of movies, I did catch a really good one just the other day. Actually, no, yesterday. In fact, I don't know why it took me a month to get around seeing this movie, but I'm glad I did. I finally saw Game Night in theaters, and Game Night. I was the only person in the theater since it's been in the theaters for a month now.
Is that the $2 theater? No, he's probably no. It's not $2 anymore. It's like $3 now.
$3. No, it's still playing at Showcase Cinemas.
Okay.
Yeah. So I finally saw Game Night, and it's a fantastic comedy. It's a black comedy, as in dark comedy.
Okay. Did you just say dark comedy?
It's well, black comedy is also the same term. But nowadays, when you think black comedy, you think like a man or something. But it's a dark comedy game night, and it's directed by John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein. Stars Jason Bateman, Rachel McAdams, Kyle Chandler, Billy Magnuson, and Jesse Plemons. And it's an uproarious and hilarious film, and it stars Bateman and McAdams. They play this married couple they're both very competitive when it comes to game nights that they stage among their friends. Game nights are fun. Yes, and speaking of which, we will have to stage another game night among our circles soon. So Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams, they play this married couple, Max and Annie, and they're very competitive game night players, and they host game nights at their homes with their friends. And one night, Max's older brother, Brooks, played by Kyle Chandler, comes onto the scene. He's visiting, and he's like this highly successful venture capitalist douchebag, and like he's basically a huge arrogant humble bragger, and he like gives backhanded compliments to his younger brother, played by Jason Bateman. He's like, "Oh, someday I like to retire in a nice simple house just like this." And Max is like, "What do you mean by simple?" He's like, "Yeah, like the house we grew up in." Like just very backhanded stuff like that. And he's always undermining Max at every chance he gets. And so one night when Brooks comes back, he decides to stage a bigger game night at his own house, which is like this really, wealthy looking mansion, practically. And so Brooks decides, okay, instead of playing board games, let's up the stakes. So let's have a game night where we have a murder mystery. And we're going to make it as realistic as possible. And so Kyle Chandler's character Brooks, he stages like this elaborate robbery where somebody comes in, he gets kidnapped, and then it's up to the rest of their friends to solve the mystery. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, shit gets real because two actual burglars come in and they start beating the shit out of Kyle Chandler's character, and like the rest of the characters, they're looking at him like, "Oh my god, this is so realistic, this is awesome," and then he gets dragged off and kidnapped. And so it starts to become apparent that, okay, this is real, something's going on here. And so it's up to Max and Annie and their friends to solve this mystery and to rescue Brooks. And it's a really hilarious comedy.
Nice little date night comedy.
Absolutely, and especially also a good one that you can watch among your friends, among your boys, for example. Like it's just so hilarious, and what's so cool about game night is that just like the little details, it goes above and beyond. Like it's way better than it had any right to be. Like for example, like little touches here, like film touches, like for example, like the opening credits, like how it shows like all the production logos, like from Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema, like they all like fall down like in front of the camera, like game pieces, so they're shaped like actual game pieces on a board. Mm-hmm. And like you have like establishing shots throughout the film where it shows like the different like neighborhoods, and like it's this really unique camera effect where like most of the frame is out of focus, and like the house is like in focus, but it has like the effect of like looking like a miniature on a set or like a miniature on a game board. And so I thought those like establishing shots throughout the film were really dope. There was also a long take throughout the film, which involves this big chase throughout this mansion, and like the camera's just like moving around from character to character. I thought that was hilarious. Also, what were you gonna say?
Also pokes fun at Michael Douglas, the game.
Yeah, it does. It does poke fun at that's a film by David Fincher. Have you seen The Game by Michael Douglas with Michael Douglas? It's a interesting film. What was really funny about this film too was Jesse Plemons, his character who plays this really creepy dead-eyed neighbor who Max and Annie refuse to invite over to their game nights because his wife left him, and so like it turns out that they liked his wife more than him, and so they have
what happens when you get a new relationship.
Yeah, and so they have like every excuse in the book not to invite him over. So like at the beginning of the film, like you see. You see him like at his mailbox, Jesse Plemons, and he has this white dog just petting him, and he's just like so deadpan and so dead eyed. He's like, "Oh, so it looks like you're having another game night, right?" And then Jason Bateman's like, "Oh no, we're just, it's just me and Annie. We're just gonna have a game night to ourselves." And then Jesse Plemons is like, I see that you bought 3 bags of Tostitos. Oh well, there's a 3-for-1 at the store. 3-for-1 deal. And then J.C. Plemons is like, well, how does Frito-Lay benefit from such a deal? It doesn't make much sense financially. And then like he's just like seeing through their excuse, and then like the camera's like slowly creeping up on him, and it's just like so creepy and whatnot. And Jesse Plemons, man, he was awesome in it. And like I won't say anything more about his character, but he definitely has like a really cool payoff. There's also a couple cameos which I won't spoil at all in the film, and like the film is just like well written. Like the jokes always land, and like it's perfectly paced. Even the music score by Cliff Martinez, he did this score for like Drive and the Neon Demon. It has like that part sitcom-y, part horror movie flavor to it, which makes the movie just that much more awesome. So yeah, this is so much I like about this film. And there's also a running gag between the one black couple in the film, played by I think Laramie Morris and Kylie something or other. Kylie Bunbury, yeah. And there's a joke that involves Denzel Washington, which has an interesting payoff as well. So, and also Billy Magnuson, he plays a complete dumbass in this film. Like his character Ryan is so stupid. When you look at him, it's like, okay, how did you manage to survive this long? Why are you still alive? That's how imbecilic his character is. But yeah, there's so much that I love about Game Night, and it's still playing in theaters. I don't know if it's going to still be playing this weekend. If it is, I do recommend checking it out if you haven't done so already. Bring your friends, watch this film. It's definitely one of the big surprises of this year, and I might just add it to the collection when it comes out on Blu-ray.
Lamar Morris.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, check out Game Night. It's still playing in theaters. I really liked it. It's a hell of a comedy.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much it as far as the movies go.
All right.
And we do have some news and headlines that we'll get into as well.
Let's get it.
Yeah. So first headline here, Fox has delayed the New Mutants and X-Men Dark Phoenix again. So some news here. The New Mutants was originally scheduled to come out this year on April 13th, but Fox pushed it back to February 22nd of next year. Now, the studio has delayed the release of the film once again, so the New Mutants this time is going to be coming out August 2nd, 2019. Also, X-Men Dark Phoenix was also originally scheduled for release this November, but that's been pushed back to Valentine's Day of next year.
Excuse me. Well, you think the whole Fox-Disney merger has something to do with it?
I think it has something to do with that. I think nothing's been confirmed, and also the Fox Disney deal hasn't been solidified yet. So I think that might have something to do with that, because maybe they're thinking about, okay, maybe either Disney has some plans on maybe burning these films off, so that way they can like reestablish the X-Men into the larger MCU for like the next phase post Avengers 4. That's what I'm thinking. Or maybe they can find a way to integrate the current X-Men universe into the MCU.
No.
Which
that timeline is really confusing.
Yeah, so
Deadpool
I think
said so himself.
Yeah, so like I think they have to like burn those films off and start from scratch. I think
just already release them just so they can get them out the way before, because I want to see New Mutants.
I do too. And with the New Mutants, that's directed by Josh Boone. He said that the film, the reason why it's delayed is it says that it's going to include reshoots, because they're continuing to modify the story, and they're going to introduce a whole new character that wasn't in the original cut of the film. So they're going to have to,
And Dark Phoenix, just hurry up and get it over with.
Yeah, I think with Fox. And plus more so with Disney too. I think they want to ensure like the best possible product. Like they don't just want to like throw some stuff out there like DCEU does, but like they want to have some quality control. So I can see that, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not looking forward to Dark Phoenix, to tell you the truth, because
I still never finished Apocalypse.
yeah, you're not missing anything with Apocalypse.
I know. I just haven't finished it.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
I mean,
it's not worth
plus,
it.
The Phoenix Saga, that was my childhood.
Yeah, with the X-Men animated series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Choppy animation.
Yeah, the animation does not hold up
Wolverine
very
used
well.
to curse like Joe Pesci in Home Alone.
Yeah, man, that was great times. But yeah,
The show was still good. No, Deadpool was in that.
he was.
Literally for like a quick flash.
Wow, I don't even remember him in that.
Like it's like Wolverine was kind of like hallucinating, and then you just see Deadpool walking towards him, and then that's it.
Oh, that must have
You
been.
can actually YouTube that 1 3-second clip.
And John Haponic just left a comment. What did he say?
No, that was actually Nick Thomas.
Oh, Nick Thomas.
Man, screw the DCEU. I flipping hate them.
Hey, I don't blame you. I mean, DCEU only has one good film to their name, and that's Wonder Woman. And it's going to be all rebooted with Flashpoint. And then, John Haponic's still clinging on to that dead horse, man. I like I said, I think John might come around at the end. I think so with Avengers: Infinity War.
He's not. He's not. Listen. He has stuck to being the supervillain for this long. Why not keep going?
No, I think more so John's gonna have to admit, because he has admitted to me that Batman vs Superman is terrible, and he has admitted on the podcast via the chat. So there's hope for him yet.
You bought Man of Steel.
No, listen, that was different. That was way before Batman vs Superman came out, and that was when
Is it on Blu-ray?
it was on Blu-ray.
Is it over there?
Nah, I mailed that to John. John has my copy. I sent it to him.
Infinity War probably needs another 50 characters. Maybe then I'll enjoy it.
I mean, the thing is though, the DCEU, it's a sunken ship. Never mind sinking. And the only person that's giving that DCEU any life is Patty Jenkins with Wonder Woman. That's it. And with Flashpoint rebooting the whole franchise, you might as well just abandon ship, John, and just hop on the Marvel train, man. Because like I said, we take pity on you, John. There's always room on the Marvel train. You can always come back home. You should know how it feels to have consistently good films every single time, like a Marvel fan does. You don't know that feeling. We are willing to give you that feeling. Just come home, John. Stop fighting. Come home.
Yep. Nick Thomas says Flashpoint is such a great read too, and DCU is gonna fuck it up. For the life of me, I can't understand how DC shows shit all over the movies.
I agree. I mean, it'd be so hilarious if Flashpoint itself is a disappointment, and then the DCEU ends up being worse than it already is.
I'm just gonna let it happen.
Yeah, just let it happen. It's like watching the Undertaker come back to the ring.
Listen,
just let it happen.
You always gotta throw shade. I don't throw no shade to you. You always starting shit.
I mean, it's time because WrestleMania 34 is coming up, and
Okay, we understand that, and we have been there plenty of times. Mm-hmm. We will be having a discussion in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
with our fellow wrestling fantasy warfare heads.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be so hilarious.
That is.
Oh my god.
That
I
is.
ran into Brian Lopes, and he's like, "I'm ready. I'm ready."
All right.
I'm ready.
Oh, I'm ready too, man. We can't wait, man. But yeah, New Mutants, I can't wait for that. So hopefully it'll turn out great. And Dark Phoenix, we'll see it for the podcast.
Yeah.
Yep. Another interesting story here. What was this?
And he says, "Do something."
Oh yeah, the John Cena poking Undertaker with a stick. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I will say that whole
moment's gonna be cool. Just the moment's gonna be cool, but the match is gonna be horrible.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And the whole build up for that match has been terrible. I'm sorry.
You know what's crazy? Okay, who would you rather take? Just bear with me on this.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt or Cena?
In terms of
Just overall.
overall, I'm gonna have to go with Cena.
You notice that Bray Wyatt sold his match, his WrestleMania Undertaker match better than Cena is?
That's true. Yeah. Because Bray Wyatt was selling that his match with Undertaker by himself every week. Yeah, he did a better job.
And just like Cena is too. It's just like,
yeah.
You know what it is? It's because we just don't want it to happen.
We don't, and plus, like, you know, I mean, his match with Roman Reigns was horrible, you know, and you know him coming back as most likely coming back as the American Badass, and Kid Rock's gonna probably sing his theme, and that's why he's probably inducted in the Hall of Fame. Nah, I'm not too jazzed with it too. Nick Thomas just left a comment. He said that like LeBron should do with his hair, just let the Undertaker go, WWE. Damn, cold.
I really think it's more Vincent. Yeah, I think it's more Vince. He knows the Undertaker will sell.
I know, because people are still clinging on to that nostalgia train. That's like the dark side of nostalgia.
I'm just a fan. Like I said, that's been my favorite wrestlers since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what Eddie.
You know, it would be great if Taker didn't show up and come to find out WWE would just troll in the universe.
I would laugh hysterically if that happened. I would
too.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, he really didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, good.
Yeah.
Just that moment. Just don't ruin the moment.
Yeah. You know, but hey, you know.
But then again, everybody else can. Well, Shawn Michaels didn't ruin his moment.
Right.
He had a great send-off.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't been back to the ring since.
That's right.
If you don't count training, because that's what he does at the Performance Center right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
I think he should be doing more.
Yeah.
I think he's worth more than that. I think he's just happy with that.
Yeah. He's had his time.
I forgot. Ric Flair actually wrestled a match after his great send-off.
Yeah. I think it was against Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some Hogan. Oh, Hogan may be coming back.
Yeah, there's been some talk about Hogan likely coming back soon to the WWE. You know, after those dropping the N-bomb and that whole sex tape controversy.
I guess it's like WWE trying to say you can resurrect from your mistakes and stuff.
I mean, then again, you know, Ultimate Warrior, you know,
yeah,
he came back and he was a raging homophobe before he died.
I think if Ultimate Warrior was alive, he'd be a Trump supporter.
Absolutely, without question, he'd be on the Trump ticket without a doubt. Yeah, because you know, for those who are unfamiliar, like Ultimate Warrior, like in the past, he said some horrible comments, especially about the gay community. He said something about like, "Oh, queering don't make the world work."
Yeah, something like that.
What? And then he actually wished that, and this is true. Ultimate Warrior at one point he wished that Bobby Heenan died from cancer, from his throat cancer, which is a horrible thing to say. And especially the fact that Bobby Heenan just passed recently, I think last year.
Yeah.
So Ultimate Warrior, I mean, I you know what? That just shows you that that just shows you the power of WWE's public relations machine. They can rehab just about anybody, almost anybody. Because remember, Chris Benoit, they can't do that. But yo, Ultimate Warrior was a horrible person in life, and he was rehabbed when he came back to the Hall of Fame.
Only like a few.
Same thing with Hogan. He dropped an N-bomb. He'll likely call the New Day a bunch of N-bombs again.
A lot of people can do that because Michael Hayes did too.
Yep, with
Mark Henry.
Yeah, he did.
But he made that like he definitely regretted. Like one of the main things one thing he did say, and I will respect Michael Hayes for this. He's like, I don't care about everybody else as long as Mark Henry forgives me. Mm-hmm. He was cool with that.
Yeah,
and Mark Henry's cool.
Yeah. So,
but they can't make Roman not suck. Good one, Eric.
Boom.
Good one, Eric.
Yeah, man. Roman is just not the guy. And you know what's gonna be funny though? Like if WWE booked their WrestleMania card in this way, if they booked AJ and Nakamura as the second to last match, and it tears the roof off the place. Match of the year and all this, and then it segues to the Roman Lesnar match. You'll just see people just filing out of the arena while that match is going on. That'll be that will laugh my ass off. Nice. Yeah,
that'd be nice. Adrian will get the roast session of a lifetime.
Oh yeah.
Kyle too. Kyle's he's on Roman's side too.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, I don't hate Roman Reigns, but he's just not the face of the company, no matter what Vince McMahon says. I'm sorry. And plus with Daniel Bryan coming back,
forget it.
It's like deja vu all over again, because remember with Daniel Bryan, that affected Roman Reigns' push, babyface push. Same thing now. Like Daniel Bryan is basically, he's over like God right now at this point. And as long as Daniel Bryan manages to be injury free, then there's no way people will buy Roman as a babyface, as the top babyface.
But what about China? Why not? Why is she not getting any love? And all she did was make a porno.
Excellent point.
You'd be surprised. Let me see. Sonny did some things, and she's in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
They acknowledge China. They're acknowledging China.
Yeah, they are.
Like, I watched the Empowered series. Yeah, that's one thing I did this week. I watched the Empowered documentary. Mm-hmm. It was they mentioned her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So China deserves to be recognized more, and plus there's a double standard too. To your point, Eddie. Like, for example,
no, they're picky and choosy. That's just there's no point.
There was a double standard. Like, for example, Mike Tyson's in the Hall of Fame, and some of the dirt that he did in his prime. So there you go. Plus, X-Pac, still respected for. Well, I know he's not in yet.
He'll eventually get in because he's,
Yeah,
Steph mentioned China at that Raw anniversary in the ring when DX got together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But again, it's going to be one of those. If and when China does get into the Hall of Fame, it's going to be a bittersweet moment, because it's like, damn, you could have inducted her while she was still alive.
She was trying to get that.
Yeah. Yep, she was.
As a matter of fact, one of the last photos that she was taking was her at Titan Tower, at WWE headquarters.
Wow.
I'm old school. I call it Titan Towers.
Yeah, it's still Titan Towers to me too. No lie. But yeah, some other.
Trump is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah. If that orange fuckface can be in the Hall of Fame, then that just shows you. This just shows you. All right, three things. A, the WWE Hall of Fame is not legitimate because of the celebrity wing alone. Two, because there's no voting body, because it all boils down to whether or not you're cool with Vince McMahon. And three, there's no actual museum yet.
I am disappointed on one thing, though.
It's not a legitimate.
About this year's induction. This sounds it's gonna sound kind of weird, but usually they induct somebody who's dead, and everybody's alive. I think this is like the first time since they started televising them where everybody's alive.
Let's see: Goldberg, Dudley Boys, Ivory, Mark Henry, Hillbilly Jim, Jeff. Yeah,
everybody's alive.
Oh, thank goodness, man! That's a nice streak. But yeah, we'll talk a bit more about that Wrestle Talk in a couple weeks ahead when WrestleMania weekend rolls around.
There's still time for them to die. Jesus.
Oh, that's pretty grim. That's pretty grim.
Oh man. Good. What did Steven Spielberg say about Netflix movies?
Yeah, there was a recent interview that Steven Spielberg said about Netflix movies where Spielberg, he did a recent interview with ITV News, and he said, quote, once you commit to a television format when it comes to Netflix movies, you're a TV movie. You certainly, if it's a good show, it deserves an Emmy, but not an Oscar. And so Steven Spielberg went on to say, I don't believe films that are just given token nominations in a couple of theaters for less than a week should qualify for the Oscar nomination. And Spielberg is talking about how the Academy, they're recognizing Netflix movies, even though they're technically TV movies because they don't get theatrical releases. For those and also a workaround rule that certain Netflix movies get around to qualify for the Oscars is if they have a theatrical run in a theater for 1 week, either in New York or Los Angeles, or pretty much anywhere really. Mm-hmm. Then they can qualify because it's technically a theatrical release then. But Spielberg is saying that, well, that's kind of undermining, traditional theatrical movies. And plus, like, in that case, Netflix movies should qualify for Emmys, not Oscars.
No, I see. He's got a point.
Yeah, and he also says that how streaming services like Netflix and Hulu, they're starting to court more smaller films and more independent releases as movie studios. They're pushing more big budget, franchise movies, sequels, and all this tentpole releases, basically. And so it's a case now where you have fewer filmmakers releasing independent and smaller movies in theaters, so they just rely on Netflix to distribute their stuff. And at the same time, if those movies are really good and if they deserve awards contention, then it's okay, well, we're just gonna have to spend extra money to put this movie in the theater for 1 week or two, and then qualify for an Oscar or major awards. So it's changing the game kind of a slightly negative way. I can see in that respect, and also with that, Spielberg also alluded to how the Cannes Film Festival last year they had 2 films from Netflix that debuted at the Cannes Film Festival. You had Mudbound and Okja, but because the French film distributors, they disagreed with the fact that Netflix was part of the film festival because they're not theatrical releases. The Cannes Film Festival established a new rule stating that any film that doesn't have a theatrical release does not get into the Cannes Film Festival. It can't compete.
Right.
So Netflix movies are automatically disqualified. With his comments, I think that there is something. He does have a point where technically they're still films, but they're more TV films because they're not theatrical. And also, I do see with Netflix pumping so many original films now more than ever, there's a lot of bad Netflix movies out there. You do have to dig down deep for the good stuff. And there's a lot that's fair to middling, and then there's some outright bad ones too, like Bright. So yeah, with that, I think Netflix really, it's Netflix is quantity over quality, and I can see how
they just have better comedy specials and and TV shows, because I still have yet to see a bad Netflix show.
I heard there's some bad ones. I haven't seen a bad
Iron
one.
Fist.
Oh, Iron Fist is trash, and Defenders was all right,
mediocre.
Yeah, but yeah, I do agree with Spielberg to a point. I mean, I think it's unfortunate now that it's harder for.
Well, times has changed, so it's I think it's just they still just times have changed. Mm-hmm. It's time to change with the times. So it's maybe they just need to now that they have these all these streaming services, they really need to just look into the they need to just really look into it and just kind of change up the rules a little bit. Mm-hmm. Just try to make it make it fair for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, and plus at the same time, I can see the slippery slope, because if you do if you do allow Netflix films to qualify for major film awards, and without the theatrical release window, then that would allow other TV movies to bypass. Or
maybe
the Emmys,
why don't you just have why don't the Oscars just have best streaming category, a couple of them.
Oh, best streaming film.
Yeah, best streaming film, best streaming cinematography, whatever. I mean, and they'll just put it in the awards that they don't show on TV.
That could work, if that was developed a little more. That could have some potential.
I'm just throwing a suggestion out there. They don't have to take it.
Yeah. But I will say that it's a slippery slope where other networks can instantly qualify for the Oscars. For example, HBO could qualify for their TV movies, like ABC and etc. So
just come up with the Stream Awards.
Yeah, a streaming awards, or maybe Netflix can establish a theater chain of their own, maybe for exclusive movies for their theaters, and then goes on Netflix maybe 2 months later or something like that.
No, I don't think they want to do it, because they have a great formula as it is. So it's they don't want to break something that they don't want to fix something that's not broken.
Right.
So yeah, maybe just saying, maybe like they can all get to somebody can just come up with an award show just for streaming movies.
Yeah. And Eddie says that the Netflix is going to kill the theater experience. I disagree.
Because it's like there's still like exclusive. There's still movies that are just coming out in the theaters, and just some are just coming out on Netflix.
Yeah. Yep. Like for example, that movie. Yeah. For example, that movie Annihilation, which I talked about a couple weeks ago on the podcast.
You did.
Yeah, that came out here in theaters, but it's on Netflix in other countries.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know Fresh Prince is on Netflix in England.
Oh wow.
But we don't have it.
No, it's on Hulu though, right?
Nope.
Damn. It's got to be on there.
It needs to be.
But speaking of the theater experience, just one headline here: MoviePass. MoviePass has lowered its subscription fee once again. So last month, the company lowered its monthly fee from $9.95 to $7.95. So this week, MoviePass has lowered its price to $6.95 per month with a one-time processing fee of $6.55. So y'all motherfuckers got no excuse.
I just don't go to the movies often like that.
That's all right.
Don't.
That's all right though, because $6.95 a month.
Go by myself.
No. Listen,
I don't.
Irrelevant. Listen,
I don't.
$6.95 a month. You can go. You can even see evening shows, which are $12.50. You can see it for $6.95 for free. You're seeing movies for free. Get that MoviePass, son. Get that MoviePass. And I'm just an avid fan.
Yeah, you are. Eddie says, "Fuck Hulu and Netflix, jailbroken Fire Stick all day." Oh man.
Nah, I'm not. I do not support the bootlegging train. I do not.
Star Wars.
These specialized editions. That's the lone exception. That's the lone exception to the rule.
I'm pretty sure you made exceptions before.
Nah, but yo, MoviePass for $6.95. Y'all cats got no excuse. Yo, listen, $6.95 is way less than a typical movie ticket in the daytime. Daytime movie tickets are like I think $9.50 or $10, I think. But yo, $6.95, and even if you see like one movie a month, it pays off. It really pays off. And yo, you can see bad movies in the theater with no regrets. As a matter of fact, thanks to MoviePass, this Friday, this weekend, I plan on seeing Tyler Perry's Acrimony thanks to MoviePass.
Eddie says, "I got kids. Who has the time? Who the hell has time to sit down for 2 hours?"
You sit down for 2 hours watching a movie at home.
Yeah, but he's with his kids.
So you're still spending the time technically sitting down, kid or no kid. So just get the MoviePass.
He has a newborn.
Okay, well, but yeah, it's
and his second youngest is gonna be the WWE champion.
Word?
No, that kid is a certified like wrestler fanatic. Like he plays wrestle. I've seen him. He plays wrestling with him. He even sells. You throw a punch on him, he'll sell it.
Wow. Hey, he's got a knack for the business. Hey, NXT, WWE.
I'll start teaching him how to take bumps at an early age.
Nah, don't start him too early, man.
At least on a bed.
Yeah, but like on an actual ring mat, nah, killing him. But yes,
he can start that can wait till he's like 13.
Yeah, that's when like a lot of wrestlers train around that age too. Yeah, but yeah, MoviePass, get it. And again, I do not own stock in MoviePass. I'm just a passionate fan.
Okay.
Another headline here, since we're talking about Netflix, Gina Rodriguez. She's going to star in a live action Carmen Sandiego film for Netflix. In addition, she's also voicing the character in an animated Carmen Sandiego's reboot series this year for Netflix.
I'm interested in seeing that because I used to watch the game show all the time.
I did too.
Geography became one of my best subjects because of that show.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And the cartoon.
I watched it too. Finn Wolfhard's going to be in it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, that's pretty cool. And plus, it has educational value, for the kids learning about the world, geography.
I'll
So
check it out.
I give it a thumbs up. Also, we got some Deadpool news here. We haven't talked about the trailer yet, though, but we'll get into that. Donald Glover's Deadpool TV series has been canceled before it even started. Last May, FX signed a 10-episode deal for an adult animated Deadpool series, which was going to be written and produced by Donald and Stephen Glover, who would also serve as showrunners. But now FX has scrapped that project, citing creative differences. The Glovers, Marvel, and FX all mutually agreed to part ways. According to Deadline, the cancellation was due to complications stemming from Disney's pending purchase of Fox. So until the acquisition is official, the Deadpool series would have to be done with another Fox production entity. So in that case, there's too much work to be done. So from a business standpoint, it can't be done. So too bad that the Donald Glover's Deadpool series isn't gonna see the light of day, but we did get a Deadpool 2 trailer, which dropped this week, which is fire.
It is, but there's one thing I'm disappointed in.
What's that?
Terry Crews is not playing Bishop.
Darn, who's he playing?
He's in the movie, but he's. Hold on, I looked it up earlier and I forgot his name. He's playing Bedlam.
Okay. And Deadpool 2, it has confirmed that it's going to feature the X-Force, or the establishing of that team. And I'm looking forward to it, man. We still don't know much about the story, and we don't need to until it comes out in May.
Oh, you got the premise here.
You don't need to read the premise.
Okay.
The less said, the better. Josh Brolin looks badass as Cable.
Yeah, he looks like he's nailing it. He has like a 4-movie deal.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with Fox, or was it with Marvel? No, it has to be Fox. It makes sense.
Yeah. Because it's for the role of Cable.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's up. So yeah, man. Deadpool 2 coming out. The first film is still great.
And Deadpool 3 is already in development.
Of course. Ryan Reynolds, man, that was a role he was born to play.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even the bad one and X-Men Origins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John Haponic likes X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's so weird, but yeah, Deadpool 2, man, looking forward to it, man. Zazie Beetz as Domino.
Freaking Blind L, Leslie Adams as Blind L is nailing it. Yeah, I had to. I actually downloaded the digital copy of the first Deadpool onto my phone, and I mean, I'm freaking just sitting around just dying.
Yeah, yo, Leslie Uggams. I'm glad that she's doing her thing. Yeah, and that reminds me, I got to get back to watching Empire.
Right. Yeah, I think the new season starts tomorrow.
Well, not the new season, the mid-season. Yeah, because I stopped at the episode where Lucius, spoilers, regains his memory.
Yeah, so it's like I think I just need to watch one more before it happens.
Yeah, so
I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, so I'll catch up on that eventually. And lastly, to wrap up all the headlines here, there's a wrestling rumor, that Bray Wyatt's character is likely to be repackaged following the Ultimate Deletion match from Raw last week. So for those who missed it, Bray Wyatt was thrown into the lake of Reincarnation. So with that, there's a rumor that Bray Wyatt may reemerge from the lake of Reincarnation as Woken Wyatt. Yes. Or no.
Husky Harris.
Husky Harris 2.0. I would love to see that.
John Aponic says Liev Schreiber was awesome in Origins. First 30 minutes was great. After that, it's a fun popcorn movie.
Yeah, John, I agree, except you're wrong. And it's not a fun popcorn movie. In fact, it was rather trash. Will.i.am was miscast in his role. Also,
I forgot he was in the movie.
Yeah. Also, Taylor Kitsch, as Gambit, he was there. He was just there.
I think he looks better. I think he could have had a better presence.
Yeah.
But I still would take him over Channing Tatum.
Yeah. I think Taylor Kitsch deserves another chance at being the it guy. Also, X-Men Origins Wolverine features like those cartoonish, fake-looking adamantium claws.
Okay, so it's time. Well, we're not gonna see those anymore.
Yeah.
Well, we're X-23 coming.
Yeah, and plus, like, come on, Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, that was booty, absolute
That wasn't
booty.
just.
Yeah. So, I mean, it still mystifies me how John can like that movie and diss the MCU films. It just mystifies me. But hey, there's no accounting for taste, as they say. But yeah, Bray Wyatt. What do you think about him being repackaged as a Woken Wyatt?
The thing is, he needs the Wyatt family. That was the only way his gimmick was working.
Well, that and he needs more wins. He needs to be a bigger threat than he is.
Yeah, they did soften him up.
Yeah. You know, I would.
You think it's possibly a punishment because of what he's doing with Josh? No, it should be. It'd be very hypocritical. But.
Yeah. I think Bray Wyatt does need a reboot. I think get rid of the whole.
Let him disappear for a grip.
Yeah.
And then just come back like with a vengeance.
Yeah. I would
just get a nice, good win streak going.
Yeah. Like I would say, like let Bray Wyatt disappear for a year, just 1 year.
Too long.
No, just 1 year. Have him repackage his whole image. Have him reconfigure his style in the ring. Comes back as a completely different character.
A few months, because all that's really going to do. A year is like literally just wasting money at this point.
I think they can like have like little illusions here and there, kind of similar to like how Sting. Well, then again, Sting was on Nitro every week when he was like feuding with Hogan, and he didn't say a word. He was in the rafters, but like something to shake it up because like his character is stale and is a joke.
Yeah, he needs the family.
Yeah,
he's just much more dominant.
Or I have the perfect gimmick for Bray Wyatt. IRS 2.0.
Don't shut up.
Yes.
Don't do that.
The tax man is coming.
Don't do that. I've met his father. His father's a really nice guy, by the way.
Mike Rotunda?
Yeah. Very nice guy.
Follow the W-2s.
File your taxes.
Yes.
No, you couldn't do that. Only him could do that.
Yeah, like a creepier version.
No. Yeah, now you're just talking stupid.
Yeah. Or have him team up with his brother Bo.
Nah, they didn't want that.
Yeah. I don't know.
They didn't want that to. I don't even think Bo wanted that.
Yeah. Eddie says Reform Money Inc. Nah.
Couple years too late.
Yeah, that's true. And plus, I think Ted DiBiase's son, I think he's retired from wrestling.
Yeah, he's done. He's doing more like philanthropic work.
Oh, that's what's up. Good for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for all the headlines and stuff this week. So
moving on to question of the week.
Yes, let's hear it.
All right, last week's question of the week. What should be the next Marvel Netflix series? We actually got a lot of good responses for this one.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So Nick Quattrini says on Facebook, very good question. I heard Moon Knight was next, but maybe I'd like to see Wolverine and Kitty Pryde or Rogue or someone that has been in stuff, but yet not very well known, like Morbius the Vampire, or more from X-Men, or Rick Jones and the Hulk.
Okay.
Jim Savard says none.
Well, then again, Jim Savard, shout outs to him. He doesn't watch the Netflix Marvel series.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
Yeah.
All right. So on Instagram, Iceman85 says they should just turn Fantastic Four into a series. I think that would turn out better than them rebooting the movie.
I can dig that. Yeah, like set it in the 1960s too. Make it a period piece. I think it's better suited for that time period, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, but I think they can do something for this lineup.
Maybe.
Random Ramblings with Rob. Shout outs to him. We was just on his show this week.
Yep.
He'll be putting it out real soon. So
Oh,
as soon as that comes out, we'll put it on our feed so y'all can check that out. We had a really good time with him.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He says Blade.
Yeah, man. A Blade series. Don't recast Sticky Fingers though.
He just had the look.
Yeah, he did. He did have the look. Not gonna lie.
Spock of Summer says, Oh, that was it.
Okay.
He couldn't think of anyone. Jessica Concussion says a young Nick Fury.
Okay.
I think I can. You know what? I think that's a role I could play. I want that Marvel money. I want that Marvel money.
Sorry, man.
Let me bulk up a bit. You know, rookie Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Do it.
No, take some acting classes. You'll be good. Yeah.
I can do it. I appreciate your sarcasm. John Aponic says Blade seems like a logical fit into that world. Yeah. I'd also love to see maybe a less developed character like Echo from Daredevil or White Tiger, Angela Del Toro.
Okay.
And Chenzamundo says Colossus.
Yeah, Colossus. Yeah, they're doing a good job with him in the Deadpool movies. Yeah. But
how about a Black Widow series? I think she's getting her own movie, right?
Yeah, they're still in the planning stages of a Black Widow movie.
I know Hawkeye wanted a Netflix series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jeremy Renner wanted to do that.
Yeah, that could work actually. Yeah.
I just like how the Netflix series are like they're dark and they're the street level.
Mm-hmm.
Street level heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Hawkeye could be street level too, kind of similar to the comics from what I understand.
Could work.
Yeah. I like that.
So this week,
all right.
What is your favorite post-apocalyptic movie?
Post-apocalyptic movie. Oh man. How come nothing comes? Let me look it up real quick.
I figured you would have threw. I'm kind of surprised you haven't yelled this one out yet.
Which one was that?
Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, Mad Max Fury Road is a modern classic. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. Close to it. I love Mad Max Fury Road. If you haven't seen it yet,
I think it's on HBO Go.
It's on HBO Go. Beautiful cinematography, awesome direction.
Hey, Mad Max.
Hey, there you go, Mad Max Fury Road. But I want to say something different than Fury Road because I think Fury Road is the easy answer. So I'll leave it to you while I look it up.
Oh, I already have mine.
Which one is that?
Book of Eli.
Really? Book of Eli.
I really enjoyed that movie. Like he has the last known Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, Spirit just told me to go west.
Yeah.
And then you got Gary Oldman's crazy ass trying to get a hold of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then he does. Well, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Then he does. And it turns out the book was in Braille. Mm-hmm. Denzel was blind the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And he had it memorized.
Yeah, he did. I remember I watched it in theaters with Aris and Jerome. And a couple other friends, and I enjoyed that movie. That was actually underrated. It was actually directed by the Hughes brothers.
Really?
Yeah, they did Dead Presidents.
Oh, okay.
And From Hell, which wasn't very good. I was gonna say The Road, but The Road I didn't really like too much. It was really depressing, even for me. I hear that the book is actually better. I actually have it. I haven't had a chance to read it. But I would say like my favorite post-apocalyptic movie, besides Mad Max Fury Road, I'm gonna put it on the same level. Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer is dope. Takes place on a train that travels throughout the world, and like each train car is like representative of like one segment of society. Chris Evans is the main actor, and he brought it. That was one of a really good acting performance.
All right.
Damn good movie. If you haven't seen Snowpiercer, watch that alongside Mad Max Fury Road. Awesome double feature. Great date movies.
Okay. All right. So that'll be on our social media within a day or two, and I promise I won't be late with it. Where can you find us?
You can find us. You can find all of our episodes on Facebook Live, as well as SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, and Google Play. You can also hit us up with that 5-star review on iTunes.
That automatically signs you. That automatically enters you to our giveaway. So, a copy of Ready Player One and a $25 gift card to GameStop. It'll be yours. All you gotta do is just leave a 5-star review.
Yep.
Contest already started now. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and that's it.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere. Google us, you'll find us.
There's gonna be a lot more to come this year. And and next week we'll be getting to a spoiler-filled review of Ready Player One.
Yes, Ready Player One comes out this Friday. Highly anticipated movie. It's gotten some good early buzz so far.
I'm hearing,
Yeah, for the most part. I'll check it out. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the book, but hopefully the movie might win me over. I'm keeping an open mind.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man. So once again, thank you all for watching. Tune in next Tuesday. We will catch you on the flip. Peace out, nerds.
Later.